Inside this box is one of the best-selling car cleaning kits in the UK right now, but it's also one of the most hated within the detailing community. So this morning I went out and I purchased some because I wanted to find out why it's so cheap, why does everybody hate it, but more importantly, why does everybody buy it? This is the renowned Demon gift pack. It's an 8-piece set and it has some of the basics you need to wash your car. And each bottle is sold in a 1 litre quantity and it comes with a few accessories too. So in the box we get a wheel cleaner, a multi-purpose cleaner, a finishing spray and a tyre dressing. And you also get a shampoo / snow foam. Well, it's supposed to be a snow foam, but it doesn't give you instructions how to use it as a snow foam in a cannon. Don't worry, I'll explain all about it when it comes to snow foaming the car later. So believe it or not, these aren't the only products from the Carplan Demon range. They've got a rapid dirt remover, which is basically a pre-wash, something I would have really liked to have seen in this bundle. They got a glass cleaner and a fabric cleaner. Now we will talk a little bit more about them later on, but now it's time to get outside and clean my car using these cheap and cheerful products. Right, now there are a few ways which we could tackle these wheels. Number one, we could simply use the wheel cleaner on its own, especially on the tyres and the alloys and inside the barrels here. Alternatively, we could use a little helping hand with this APC. Not quite sure how this is going to perform because it could be quite weak. Bearing in mind it says for interior and exterior, I'm not going to hold my breath. But alternatively, we could go one step further and we could use this, the snow foam. Now by using this, what we could potentially do is initially spray the wheel cleaner onto the wheels and then follow it up if you've got a snow foam cannon, of course, because what that's going to do is give you a longer dwell time, which means you should hopefully get a better cleaning performance. But who knows? Let's find out. Now because we're tackling it in the shady side, it means we are going to have a slightly better dwell time. Already what I can see is it's literally just rolling off the wheels, so it's not clinging, which means I'm probably wasting quite a lot of product, and that's why I prefer gel-based wheel cleaners. And I can tell it's not strong, and I'm putting so much product on here, I'm going to be using way too much, but I want to just use as much as possible to try and find out how much wheel cleaner it's really going to take to do a good job. Now we're just going to let that set for a couple of minutes. So the tyre is foaming up pretty nicely there. Now I have removed any chemical off these brushes because the last thing I want to do is have premium wheel cleaning product still on these bristles that actually makes this look better than it's actually performing. If you want to see the correct method and the way that I clean wheels on a normal day-to-day basis, I will put a link to that video in the description below. I don't think we're going to get much joy with the brake dust inside here. It should be able to remove the dirt, but the brake dust, no, I'm not quite convinced on that one yet. First impressions, as it's still wet, it's very hard to tell about the tyres, how well they've cleaned up. But looking at the alloys, I mean, look, there are a few bits it's just not been able to shift, but I wasn't really hoping for a miracle. As for cleaning the faces, it's done a fairly good job, but now what we're going to do is move straight onto the rear wheels. We're just going to spray it with the chemical, let it dwell, and then rinse it off with a pressure washer just to see whether I really needed to brush them all along. I'm not sure about this one yet. So the only thing touching this wheel is chemical alone, so zero brushing. Right, so we've let the wheels dwell now for about 2 minutes. I'm just going to give it a quick rinse off with a pressure washer. The rear wheels are always going to be like half as bad as the front, so let's have a quick look anyway. I imagine this will probably come up okay. That is non-existent. So the chemical on its own, bearing in mind these rear wheels weren't that bad. I mean, look. By the way, if you had nice fancy wheels, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Yeah, it's not worked at all well, has it? So I reckon the thing that really got it out of jail for the front of the wheels was probably the fact that I gave the tyres a good scrub and I gave the wheels a good brush as well. So yeah, not convinced yet, but we're going to try one more method with the snow foam on top. Oh, actually, we might try 2 more methods because I might try the APC on the rear wheel as well. For the front left wheel, I wanted to try chemicals alone one more time, but this time around I used the snow foam on top just to give it a longer dwell time with the hope it will perform better. Yeah, there's no way this wheel cleaner as a standalone spray and rinse off would, yeah, I don't think you'll be satisfied with that. I think you'd have to give it a good brush. So this smells like your typical G101. So I'm hoping it performs like it, because if it does, it means we might actually get a decent wheel cleaner out of this gift set. Please work, please. Well, that's a turn up for the books. I actually think the all-purpose cleaner has done a better job than the wheel cleaner. Unbelievable. So the wheel cleaner was actually quite disappointing. If anything, I think I actually preferred the multi-purpose cleaner. So now we're going to try it on the lower third of the vehicle, follow it up with some snow foam, give it a rinse and see what kind of dirt we got left on the vehicle. Now I'm going to use this in the petrol cap area. I might even do some on the door shuts as well, because they said it's suitable for all surfaces, interior and exterior. It shouldn't really matter if I get it on any of the plastics in here. So let's just go for it. Once the lower third of the car was sprayed, I topped it up with the foam, and I went for 150 ml in the 1 litre Ava Premium foam cannon. Right, snow foam consistency check. Let's have a look. Let's see what's going on here. It's definitely not the worst thing I've seen. It started off, it was like a nice blanket. I'm just trying to find the last bit that I actually sprayed. The last part I sprayed was here on the bonnet. So it starts off as a nice blanket, but as you can see, the first parts that I'd sprayed, you can see it is starting to pull off some of the dirt. Well, I hope it is anyway. So what normally happens is the foam brings it out of the surface, starts dropping it down. It just means when you rinse it, it's not going to remove all the dirt on it. That's never going to happen. It won't remove everything. But what it will do is make your life easier, and it means there's less risk when it comes to doing the contact wash of getting any scratches. But so far, it's holding up okay. With the rinse stage, I made sure I was very thorough to blast out all the door shuts. And you can see just how stable the foam was, so this worked better on a dry, dirty surface. I think if I'd rinsed the car before applying the foam, the results would have been completely different. But now it's time to get on with the contact wash. So this is 100 ml of product in the bucket instead of their recommended 50 ml, because I've already seen so many people say that it's just too weak. So I didn't really want to follow that trend. I wanted to use a bit extra, and considering it's so cheap anyway, I don't really think it's going to be much of a waste of money. That's really good, to be fair. Nice and stable, lovely suds, it smells great. Yeah, this is a good looking shampoo, I think. Okay, that is the final rinse complete. Now I will just give you a quick disclaimer, because I was so sick of that wheel cleaner. I've gone around the wheels again with Incinerate from Infinity Wax, and it's just taken care of the wheels in seconds. As you can see, the sun is starting to break through. We haven't got loads of blue sky, but it's definitely getting warmer. So these are going to be your typical weekend conditions that you're going to like to use this product on. Now, because the sun is out and it is quite warm, this is a good opportunity for me to see how streaky the shampoo is. Now, I've been very thorough rinsing it, and so far what I can see here is we don't have any white streaks. So my best advice, seriously, if you are going to use this product, just get all those streaks off by giving it an extra rinse. Just go over it a little bit more, even if it's 1 more minute. Trust me, if you're using a pressure washer like that, they're going to use less water than your garden hose. It will be a lot more effective. So don't panic thinking you're going to be wasting a ton of water, because that's just not the case. Okay, so the car's nice and dry. I'm now going to grab my pink spray, my Demon Shine. Now, I've used this for so many years back in the day, before I was even a proper car cleaner. So I always thought this was a really good product, but then I got kind of exposed to all the premium brands out there, and oh my God, yeah, it was just night and day at the time for me now. So I don't know if they've updated the formula over the last couple of years. I think we're soon going to find out. So look, you can see the car now. It's actually almost streak free, I would say. There's a few little drips, but we're not too worried about that. And the reason why we're going to be using this before we start spraying the tyres is because if I sprayed the tyres first and then sprayed some of this pink spray over the top, I think I could kind of get a mixture of the both. And I will explain in a minute why I think the tyres could be the deal breaker for this bundle, and it may not be what you're thinking. Honestly, this was a standout product for me. No streaks in the direct sunlight, beautiful finish, and very simple to use. I cannot fault this one. But the cloth that came with it was just far too small to do the job. Next up, we have the Instant Tyre Shine. Now, instructions say shake bottle well, spray over the tyre wall, and let the product dry. That is it. Now it says do not spray on tyre treads, brake components, windows, windscreens or control pedals. Right, okay. It's funny because the second I've just pulled this out, the wind has all of a sudden come out of nowhere and started blowing. I really don't like the idea of this. It's really watery, runny, and I need it to stick to the tyres. I don't quite get the logic in this product. But anyway, we'll keep going. I might even spray some on the wheel arches there, out of curiosity. Oh, this doesn't feel right doing this. I feel like I should be applying it with a sponge. Look at it. So we've got a little bit of wind now. Oh, I can see it going everywhere. The tyres looked fairly nice, but if the label says avoid paint and glass, then seriously, why are they selling it with a trigger? And since this video, I have tried it on other wheels with an applicator and it just doesn't work half as good. So this really is weak. But if you do get it on the glass, my best advice is take a damp towel and wipe it off immediately, then follow up with a dry cloth. As for the multi-surface cleaner on the interior, it was pretty average. Right, so are you really getting value for money? Now, look, it is an 8-item set, but honestly, the sponge, I mean, it's tiny, it's pathetic, it's not going to last long. An air freshener, they're, what, 10p to manufacture these days? Nothing. This cloth, although I didn't like the cloth, I have to say the quality was pretty good. It's just too damn small. It's just another pointless thing. But I can see why they've added these 3 extra products, because if this was a 5-gift bundle in a box, you probably go, well, am I really going to pay 20 quid for 5 items? Whereas when you've got 8 items, it kind of makes it exaggerated to the point you look like you're getting something extra out of it. So I totally get why they've done it. Just bear in mind, if it's Christmas or birthdays, your mum gets a toaster or a kettle, your dad gets a car cleaning kit. I think anybody who sees this in the shops are going to look at that and go, oh, right, there's a good gift idea, job done. And I think they have been so clever with their marketing. Honestly, I actually kind of hope more car cleaning companies out there put together something like this. I just hope they do something a little bit better. Granted, it's nice and colourful, it's going to catch your attention. You're not really going to say no if you're seeing it for around £20. I think that is quite good value for money. I think most people buying it as a gift will certainly agree. As for you detailers out there, I don't think this is going to be something that is going to float your boat. I don't think you're going to buy this, go, right, I'm going to detail my car, I'm going to clean it, I'm going to make it look amazing with these products, because I just got average results at best. Now, for those of you who like to go into your local Halfords to grab some car cleaning supplies, you might be familiar with brands such as Autoglym and Maguire's. Well, I have 2 videos, one featuring the brand new advanced wheel cleaner from Autoglym and the other featuring Maguire's scratch remover. If you want to go check out those 2 videos, you can go and watch them right here.